Welcome, apprentice physical scientists, to the Institute of Physical Phenomena. Today we begin our first challenge in the Department of Matter Studies. On this table are a slice of bread, honey, steam from a boiling kettle, and the light from a flashlight. At first glance, these objects seem completely different, but three of them have something in common, and one doesn't belong. Can you find the odd one out? Let's explore together and unlock the mystery of matter. Today we'll explore what makes something matter and how to classify matter into solids, liquids, and gases. Let's get started. Matter makes up everything in the universe, but what is it? To solve today's challenge, let's start by defining matter. Matter has two key properties. The first property is that it has mass, which means it can be weighed. So if something can be weighed, it has mass. The second property is that matter has volume and takes up space, which means it fills an area. Imagine this. When you fill a container with candy, nothing else can be in or take the space of the candy. The candy is taking up that space, so nothing else can. That's because the candies are made of matter. So matter is defined as anything that has mass and takes up space. These traits help us distinguish matter from things that aren't matter. Thinking back to the items on the table, is this giving you any clues about which things on the table would count as matter and which wouldn't? Pause the video and jot down your thoughts. Matter exists in four states: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Plasmas are rare on Earth and mostly found in stars, so we won't be exploring them in detail today. When classifying the state of matter, we must investigate two key characteristics: shape and volume. First, shape refers to whether the matter maintains its form regardless of what container it's in. Some types of matter have a definite shape, which means their shape stays the same no matter the container they're in. Other types of matter have no definite shape, which means they take the shape of the container they're in, like water taking on the shape of its glass. Volume is the amount of space something occupies. Some types of matter have a definite or fixed volume, meaning they always take up the same amount of space, like this ice cube. If placed in a container that's too small, they'll overflow. Other types of matter have a changing volume, allowing them to expand to fill a bigger container or compress to fit into a smaller one, like the air in these balloons. Let's take a look at this rock. If I place it in a box, does its shape change to match the shape of the box? No, it stays the same. What about its size? Does it expand to fill the box? No, that stays the same too. So does this rock have a definite or changing shape and volume? Right. It has both a definite shape and a definite volume. That means it's a solid. Solids are a type of matter that have a definite shape and a definite volume, which means they keep their shape and size no matter where you put them. They don't change to fill their container, just like this rock. Now, let's look at the water in this glass. If I place it in the bowl, does the water shape change to match the shape of the bowl? Yes, it does. Does it expand to fill the bowl? No, that stays the same. So does the water have a definite or changing shape and volume? Right. It has no definite shape, but has a definite volume. That means it's a liquid. Liquids are a type of matter that have no definite shape and have a definite volume, which means they change their shape but keep their size, just like the water. Now, let's look at this balloon and the air inside it. If I pop the balloon, what happens to the air? It would spread out all over this entire room. Does the air's shape change to match the shape of the environment? Yes, it actually does. Does it expand to fill the environment around it? Yes, it does that too. So, does the air have a definite or changing shape and volume? Right. It has no definite shape and no definite volume. That means it's a gas. Gases are a type of matter that have no definite shape and no definite volume, which means they change their shape and fill whatever space is available, just like the gas in the balloon. Great job, apprentice physical scientist. You've learned that matter must have mass, take up space, and exist as a solid, liquid, or gas. Remember, if you can classify something as a solid, liquid, or gas, then it must be matter. Now it's time to put your knowledge to the test by classifying the items that we looked at earlier in the lesson: a slice of bread, honey, steam from a boiling kettle, and the light from a flashlight. For each item, ask yourself these questions to determine if it's a solid, liquid, or gas. Does it have mass and take up space? Does it keep its shape in a new container? Does it fill its container completely? Pause the video and complete the states of matter classification table. Let's start with the bread. Does it have mass? Yes, it can be weighed. And does it take up space? Yes, nothing else can occupy that same area. Since it has both mass and takes up space, bread is matter. Does bread have a definite shape? Yes, it doesn't change shape whether it's on a plate, in your hand, or in a bag. Does it have a definite volume? Yes, because the space the bread takes up doesn't change. What state of matter is bread? It's a solid. Now let's consider the honey. Does it have mass? Yes, it can be weighed. Does it take up space? Yes, it fills part of the jar so that nothing else can occupy that space. Is honey matter? Yes, it meets both properties to be considered matter. Does it have a definite shape? No, honey flows to take the shape of its container. Does it have a definite volume? Yes. When poured into a different jar, its shape changes, but its volume stays consistent. These properties, changing shape but keeping a consistent volume, tell us that honey is a liquid. Next, let's examine the steam rising from a boiling kettle. Does it have mass? Steam is water vapor, and water has mass. Does it take up space? Yes. Steam expands into the surrounding air. You can tell steam takes up space because if you move your hand through it, the steam flow is interrupted. It can't pass through your hand because both are taking up space. Is steam matter? Yes. Does it have a definite shape? Since it expands into the air around it, steam does not have a definite shape. Does it have a definite volume? Once again, since steam expands into the space around it, it does not have a definite volume. Therefore, steam has no fixed shape or volume. It is classified as a gas. Finally, let's look at the beam of light from the flashlight. Does it have mass? Even though you can see the light shining across the room, it doesn't have mass because it can't be weighed. Does it take up space? Even though it illuminates a space, other objects can occupy that same space, so it actually doesn't take up space. Is light matter? No. Light is energy, not matter, and it does not belong in this classification. Great work classifying these examples, apprentice physical scientists. Let's take a moment and review what we've learned today. From the bread and honey to the steam from the boiling kettle, we've explored what makes something matter and how to classify matter into solids, liquids, and gases. Remember, matter is all around you, and understanding its states is just the beginning. Be sure to complete the additional activities and online practice included with this lesson. In our next lesson, we'll explore how temperature affects matter, causing it to change from one state to another. And remember, apprentice physical scientists, the world is full of mysteries. Stay curious, keep exploring, and unlock the wonders around you. See you next time at the Institute of Physical Phenomena. Hey.